Welcome to my channel. Hi, my name's Bill, aka Billy Goat. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the electrical components that I used when I installed this chute blocker on this Timemaster. Alrighty, before we get started, I want to let you know this is a part 2 video, so please check out part 1, where I kind of give a basic overview of this chute blocker that I installed on this Toro Timemaster. This modification's been in the works for the last 4 years, so I've collected a fair amount of parts that I've been using on the different mowers that I've been installing these chute blockers on. So I was going to have links to the different parts that I've bought, but a lot of the links are no longer available. But you can get all these parts mainly from Amazon and eBay. So I'll try to give as much detail on the different components, and you can research the parts yourself. We'll start with the housing that you mount the switch on for the handlebar, which is actually a ATV UTV switch, a thumb switch that they use for those little winches that they have mounted on those four-wheelers. And this is kind of what it looks like, and here's a number if you can cross-reference it. I think I bought this one from, actually I got this one from Walmart, I believe, and I think it was like $15 or so, but I've seen them on Amazon for around $20. Next up is the actual switch that I used. Before this switch here, the original switch that comes with the ATV mounting is a switch like this. And I like this switch, but the problem is it's only what they call a single pole, single throw. And when you use a switch like that, you have to use two relays that you have to wire in, and it gets a little complicated when you start putting in relays and stuff like that. So my first generation, when I first did it, started making these modifications, I ended up using these relays. My older mower over here, if you see over here, I got this box here, this little electrical box, and it has the two relays in there. And what the relays are for, it's so that you can reverse the polarity, the plus and the minus. Because what that does is, for it to open and close, it reverses what they call the polarity. So when you go in one direction to open or close, it switches positive to negative, and that's how the motor works. That's how it opens and closes the chute there. So, and I wanted a switch like this. This is like the perfect switch to use. But the only problem is that it doesn't fit in the casing. This is actually a reverse polarity switch. If you see here, it's a six pole. It's what they call a double pole double throw switch, reverse polarity on there. And that's really a nice switch to use, but I couldn't use that because, like I say, it didn't you know, have space for that. But if you have a you know, different types of mowers, you can actually, you know, mount this on the control panel. So I ended up using this type of switch, and it's the same thing. It's you know, it works the same concept as this, but what you have to do is, since the connection here, you know, they don't have the connection right on here, so what you have to end up doing is wiring it yourself. So I'll display the a schematic of the switch here so that you can see breakdown of how it's wired. So if you're not real familiar with you know, schematics and DC current, you might want to you know, ask somebody that, you know, that might know more about electrical components, especially you know, DC power. So that would really help you, you know, if you're trying to do this modification. All right, for this to work, you have a DC motor, which you need a power source. And if you had the key start version of the Timemaster, makes things a whole lot easier because it has the battery in this underneath here. There's a cover there that you can access the battery, but since this is a recoil start, it doesn't have a battery, so I had to come up with a way of powering this motor. So what I did was I made a battery pack, and the battery pack is mounted under the handlebar here. With this battery pack, I have a quick disconnect. So when I have it in the shop, usually this pack will last about 2 weeks before it needs to be charged up, and all I do is just get a wall mount charger, and I can just plug that in there, and you know, usually within a few hours it charges the battery pack up. It's a 12 volt, it's a mini 12 volt battery pack. The case here is actually a waterproof cigarette case is what I use, because it was kind of like perfect for what I needed. So inside the case is a 3 rechargeable, I guess they're lithium batteries. They're not the same as a AA battery. They're actually a little bit larger than a AA. They're actually the because a AA is like 1.5 volts, where these are 3.7 volts, and when you put them in series, it ends up being a 12 volt battery pack. So and what's nice about that is that you can take, you know, individual, you can take them out and replace them if they start, you know, over time, they, you know, like any other batteries, they start losing charge, and you can, you know, replace them with, you know, with new batteries. And here's the battery type. They call it a 18650. That's the type of battery, I guess it is. And you can also get these wall chargers too. For the individual batteries, you can pop 2 batteries in and charge them up, and you know, you can do it that way. I keep a charge set in the truck, so that way if I'm out in the field and, you know, the batteries get weak or die, I can replace them with a new set. And then also I wired in a fuse, you know, just in case, you know, if you hold the switch down too long, it will build up too much current, and it'll want to, you know, pop the fuse. So you got to be, you know, a little careful not to hold the switch too long. As far as the what holds the batteries, It's a 3 position or 3 slot type of battery holder. I think I got like a pack of them off of I got like 10 of them, I think, off of eBay. They were really cheap. I mean, I think they were less than $10 for getting a set of those. So I used that to put the batteries in, and then like I say, I wired in the fuse there, and I believe the what I used for the just the regular wiring, I believe I used the 18 gauge wire. I used black and red. I tried to keep it uniformed as far as if I need to troubleshoot or somebody else needed to troubleshoot, they know the what the plus and minus is, as far as checking the voltage and stuff. If there's a problem with it not working, it makes it easier to troubleshoot. All right, as we move along from the switch, there's two wires. One of the wires goes to the battery pack, and then the other wire travels down the handlebar to a connector here, which goes to the motor. This connector here I got from automotive store. If you go to where they have the connectors for your trailer lights and stuff like that, they should have something like this, and that's what I use to mount there, so that if I had to replace the wire harness or the motor, I can quickly swap that out. So, and when it comes to the motor here, this is a little 12 volt what they call worm gear motor. They use them in barbecue grills and other things, and that's I liked it because it was a compact size. And when you get these, they look like this, and I don't know if you can see the number here. Now it's a 12 volt, and then it's a 8 RPM. What that means is it does 8 rotations per minute. This is a little slow, as far as I'm concerned. It makes the flap kind of go up slower than I like. I believe this one's a 12 RPM. You can get them in different RPMs. You just don't want them too fast, because if you get really high RPMs, it'll start the flap will just kind of jerk back and forth, and you'll see that on a lot of the commercial versions that put in their motors, and they need to install a speed control on those to kind of slow it down, so that it's not flapping back and forth. I've seen people aren't too happy about that, but if you put that speed control in there, I think that would control how fast, especially if you get a variable one, you can control how fast you want it to open and close. When you purchase these motors, you also want to make sure that you get a bracket with it. Sometimes they'll come with it, and sometimes they won't. So you got to make sure that if it isn't coming with it, to order a bracket as well, so that you're able to mount it wherever you want on your mower. Now, these things here, a lot of big questions is it waterproof? And no, this isn't waterproof. Now, what I did was on mine, I made mine not exactly waterproof, but more water resistant. And what I did was I got the this Plasti Dip. You can get them from Home Depot, Lowe's, and I'm sure you can get them other places, but I get this stuff here. It coats the tools and stuff, gives it that rubberized coating on there, and what you do is just you know, just take the whole motor and just dip it down in there. What I do first is I tape up where the shaft spins there, and I just dip it down and pull it out and let it you know, dry, and it becomes you know, rubber coating on there, and makes it you know, pretty much you know, waterproof or water resistant, so that you know, when it rains and moisture, you know, keep it from you know, shorting out. So it works. I haven't had a problem. I don't usually leave my equipment in the rain, but you know, it has been wet a few times, and it seems to you know, hold up fine. All right, that's it for this video, and I'll do a part 3, and I'll kind of explain how I did the you know, the mechanical portion of it with the flap there, you know, hooked to the motor. So if there's anything I left out with the electrical, you know, just please leave a comment, and I'll get back with you. So I appreciate you watching. I hope you you know, learn something from this. If you have any suggestions for me, please you know, let me know, and we'll check you out in the next video. See ya.